Hi, it's Emma, and welcome to the yoga studio, the yoga shed at the bottom of my garden. A few exercises, a few poses to work out the hips. Thinking of when we talk about the hips, we're talking about the hamstrings, we're talking about the lower back, always talking about the spine in yoga, and that's where it's at. So join me on the mat, get some bricks or some books or a cushion if that's good for you. And let's come on down and stretch it all out. If we can, we're going to, let's start today on our backs, because I know to come straight away, to come sitting up down in Sukhasana, in easy pose, is actually sometimes not that easy. I always find that hilarious, that if you have problems with your hips, to sit seated, it's not always that easy. So let's just come into a bridge, or a Setu Baddhasana, modified bridge. Taking the hands to the sides. And if you find these hard, you can always gently hold on to the sides of your mat. I like to take my palms down or up. And let's just start the practice together by bringing the attention, as always, to the beautiful breath. Remember, this is always where your yoga begins. This is where your union begins. Knowing that without the breath, we're just moving our body on a mat. It's not really yoga. Finding this union, this yoga in. It's beginning to take a deep inhale. And feel the belly rise and exhale. And feel the belly fall as we do start to release the shoulders. Become aware of your sacrum, that little bony bit just above or beside the buttocks, just a bit lower back. This is where the spine and the hip bones, or your pelvis, connect. Allow the breath to be received by the body, and allow the body to respond by settling, by allowing the mind to throw away the thoughts of yesterday, the thoughts of tomorrow, the thoughts of the next 10 minutes, and just come into this moment now. And with your heels underneath your knees, and making sure your feet are not pigeon feeting out, so they're not the feet are parallel basically. Pull the navel towards the back of the spine. You can even take your hands on your rib cage here, or the lower rib. And then as we inhale, feel that expansion. Exhale, draw the belly towards the back of the mat, creating this little gulf. And then release. Take your hands to the sides and keeping the belly tucked in, or Uddiyana Bandha active, belly towards the spine. Slowly squeeze the glutes. The tailbone is tucked under, so the hips or the pelvic bone is gently tilted, and we lift the hips up, moving up into the back, so that we find that the shoulder blades are on the mat, or the upper shoulder. The shoulders are lifted. Actually, we feel the shoulder joint on the mat. Draw the thighs in. Don't move the knees though, just that rotation of the femur. And then as we exhale, slowly find the whole of the spine. Like fingers down the piano, draw the spine all the way down. It should feel quite yummy. And then as we come forward, find your two little sit bones, the bottom two little triangular parts of your pelvis, and push the hips forward. So this is all done using the belly muscles and just tilting the pelvis, a counter nutation and a nutation of the hips. Nice. Inhale, same thing again, tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the glutes, lift up. And then this time, lift the arms up. So the shoulder joints are not being compressed at all. We can lift the arms up behind us, taking them here. Again, squeeze the glutes. Make sure that you're really focusing on the glutes. Doesn't matter how high you are, but the higher you can get without any pain. Remember, we don't encourage pain in yoga. Usually means the body shouldn't be there. So if you find pain in these little exercises today, please come out of it. Just back off until there's no pain and take it from there. And then as we exhale, slowly lowering back all the way down. Find that tiny little movement. Don't come back too quickly. Find the whole of the spine on the floor and push the hips forward. Notice what that does to the chest and push the hips back. Nice. Inhale, push the hips forward. Taking it nice and slow this morning. If you're looking for something a little bit faster, then check out the Active Wednesday classes instead. They're much more cardio. This is much more deeper awakening into the different parts of your body. Really nice to balance both, not to battle both. Nice. Let's bring those arms all the way forward, and then you can take your hands and hold your bum. Or you can take your fists underneath. And then as we exhale, again, draw the bottom down, let the spine come down one by one. And let's draw the right knee in and the left knee in and rock from side to side. Nice. Okay. We're to draw the soles of the feet together if you can. It could just be the toes, it could be the sides of the feet, whatever is available to you. And then slide your hands forward, peel the head and the shoulder off the mat. Hold on to the feet to wherever you can. If not, hold the ankles or the shins. Drop the chin to the chest, pull the navel towards the back, so we're really protecting the spine here. And then slowly let the head and the shoulders come back down. Find that opening with support in the back of the hips. And then if you can, take your index finger and the middle finger around the big toe, or you can just hold on to your ankles. And let's extend that right leg out to the side, keeping a nice big bend in the knee, and then the same with the left one. Coming into a happy baby, only we've got the sacrum, we've got the bum cheeks on the floor. Drop through, you might start to feel a little gentle stretch. And depending on why your hips are not feeling great, this could be the erectus spinae muscles, could be the quadratus laborum, it could be your hamstrings, it could be that you need to tuck your tailbone under a little bit more, you're inadvertently sticking your bum out when you walk or run. It could be anything. There's never just one solution. There's never just one body. Your body is completely unique. And so I'm just here to try to help you figure out where the pain is and hopefully that we can start to correct it. Again, let's peel the head and shoulders up. A little bit of abdominal work. Never ever go wrong with a little bit of abdominal work. And then this time, take both legs out together. You should already feel by that little bit of release. And you can probably see I'm just gently, my body's wanting to gently rock from side to side. It's not massive movements. It's just that rolling through the bones. Rolling through and around the muscles. This might not be available. And then let's bend the knees back in. This is just going to prepare us for some later poses, right? And I am taking it very slow today. I hope you bear with me with that. It's a bit of a slow start. And let's stretch the legs up, take the arms out behind us. Lovely. Pull the belly to the spine so that we shouldn't have an arch at the back here. Maybe a tiny weeny one, depending on how your lumbar spine is made. But just reaching up and away. Finding that nice pulling from the navel, pulling it down towards the back. Counterbalancing it with the force as the fingers just gently hover above the floor and the feet towards the sky. Spread the toes, give them lots of air in between those tootsies. And then as we exhale, draw the hands on top of the knees. Nice, rock from side to side. Nice, and then take your hands out, palms facing up, shoulders and wrists parallel. Rock the hips over to the left, rock the hips over to the right, look to the left. And then come back to center and rock all the way over the other side. Keep the shoulders down. Don't worry that the hips are not, or the knees are not to the floor. Just concern yourselves with the shoulders being down. It's going to give you the nice twist in the back. And then come back to center again. Drop the hands behind the knees and start to rock through the body. Lovely. Rocking it over, we're going to come all the way over onto our hands and onto our knees, walking into the middle of the mat so you can see what I'm doing. Nice. Pull the navel in, nice flat back, nice flat belly. And let's take a couple of cat-cows as we inhale and exhale. So moving a little bit quickly now we've woken the body. Now the body wants to be awake. Round through, exhale. Inhale, drop the belly and the chest, take your gaze forward. And as we exhale, round through, tuck the navel in. And if you want to, from here, keeping that nice arch, turn the toes under and slowly start to push up. So we're going to take halfway into dog, spread the fingers, 3/4 of the way, and then straighten the legs as much as you are willing to do. And let's walk through the feet. In fact, let's walk through the feet and the knees. So we're starting to feel the stretch in the side body too. A little bit of reggae, if you can hear the music. Days already feeling a little bit more joyous. And then straighten the legs and drop the weight back. And let's do that again. Knees in, twisting. Remember to pull up through the belly so we're not taking weight through the hand as much as you think you should. It should be equally balanced here. Nice. And let's lift one leg up. Not too high. You can take it higher if you want to, but not too high. Let's bend the knee, open up the hip. And if this is too much, if you're thinking, what is she doing? Because it might be your first time you've practiced with me, draw the other knee down instead. And this heel is coming towards the buttocks. Nice. If you're up and a little bit more used to this practice, you can lift here. And then we're going to draw that foot down, do the same thing the other side. Again, a modified pose, a few easier poses here. And you can give that a twist and put back up again. And then from here, if you can, we're going to walk forward towards the front of the mat. Nice. Bend the knees. Hold on to the elbows, and let's just hold it here. Making sure your feet are hip width apart. And just drawing the body down. Slowly straightening the legs, bringing the weight more into the toes so that the sit bones and the heels are aligned. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, let the head and the neck release. Or you may be feeling this through the back. Come up halfway. And bend the knees, let's rise up. Move onto this mat, lifting up all the way. Nice. We'll pick it up with your right leg. And if you can, hold on to the foot and just push that left knee away. In the middle, balance. Also hold on to the sofa or the chair here. And then as we exhale, take that down, pick up the other leg, take the heel over the thigh. Nice. And then release. Take a sun salutation, inhale. Drop the shoulders in the back, exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up halfway, tuck in the chin. Exhale, take the hands down, step back into your plank. Again, if plank is too much, drop the knees down. Let's everyone lower the knees, or take a full chaturanga if you want to. Lowering it down. Inhale, come up into your up dog, or you can be here, baby, cobra, or your knees off in up dog, whatever you feel. I'm modified today. No need to push it, nothing to prove to myself. And then as we exhale, let's ease that back into a child's pose. Reaching the fingers forwards. And letting the weight, letting the breath even ripple over the shoulders, down the back, into the heels. Just enjoying this pose. Let's take the hands over to the left or the right. If I knew my left from my right. Pop the other hand on top. Make a little head ledge with your upper arms. A ledge perfectly posted for your head. Push the left bum cheek into the left heel. And then come back to center. Inhale over to the other left. And then come back to center. Nice. I'm going to take the knees wide. As wide as you can. And do the same thing again, drawing the hips back. Let the elbows come down. Dropping the head towards the earth. Maybe balancing on your mid-brow, your third eye. Again, if you're finding this too much, your bottom can be here, or you can even pop a bolster or a couple of pillows or cushions from the sofa between the bum cheeks and the legs, or the bum cheeks and the shins or the heels, so that you're more here. And that's totally fine as well. Just because maybe I can come here and you can't, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means your body needs the time to adjust. So don't feel afraid to pop some extra props in. I should have said that at the beginning, but oh well, I didn't. I'm saying it now. From here, rise up onto the knees, and then turn your feet out the other way. If you can, take your knees a bit wider. Be careful if you're doing this and you're already off your mat and you're on your nice, shiny wooden floor or tiled floor. Because especially if you've got slippy leggings on, you can really pull your adductors here, so the inside thigh muscles. If you're not in control of this, can just go out to the side. So be really careful, and then let's draw if we can. You can grab a pillow underneath your head. We're going to gently squeeze the legs as far as we can, and then either taking the head down, we're going to gently ease back. So gently easing, pushing, tiny micro movements at the bottom towards the back of the room. Work with your breath. You're going to need it here. And again, only push it to as far as you can feel it. We're taking these quite slow today. So maybe it's a little bit slower than you normally would like. And let's inhale, rise up onto the hands. Bring one leg in at a time. And then let's swish the hips from side to side, just to counter pose that. Actually walk the knees forward, sit back onto the heels, bring the feet out in front of you, take your hands behind, and let's swish the hips this way too. Nice. All we're doing is bringing this movement into the mid-body. Nice. Okay, from here, take your feet as wide as your hips, as wide as your knees, and lift up through the body. Now, it's really important that your knee, what's going to happen in these poses, your knees are going to want to do this, and your feet are going to want to come to the side, or they're going to want to knock in together. So it's really important that if there's no other movement in the body, that you keep thighs, the knees, and the feet in that lovely parallel lines, because this is going to make the difference. From here, lift up, I'm holding onto the shins. And then I'm going to add, bring the hands into the heart, and then extend that through the spine. I'm going to take Kali sword, that awesome goddess who was in the business of chopping off her enemies' heads. So we can take our sword today, we can slash through our pain or our fear that's holding us back in our hips. And maybe this is something that's in our mind that's kind of causing this blockage in the body. The hips is where we hold on to all our fear. The sacral is where our fear, it's also where we hold pleasure as well. You know, if we are holding on to, you know, if our sacral chakra, Svadhisthana chakra is blocked, we can, you know, the nature of being repressed emotions, or maybe addiction, or lack of creative energy, keep lifting. I'm trying to boggle you with words so that you don't realize that actually this is quite hard. And then exhale, let's bring it forward, reaching forward as far as you can. Now this is where the knees are going to separate, so hold them together. Nice. And when this sacral chakra is nice and flowing, we have this pleasure, we have fun, we have a good relationship with ourselves and others. It's also where we hold on to our emotions from fight or flight, or all of our relationships and sexual encounters in our life is in this region. So there's a lot going on down there. Lovely. From here, we're going to twist through. Take your right hand behind you for now, and let that left elbow or forearm or upper arm and just hold onto the knee again, keeping those knees the same, keep pushing down the big toes, twist through the belly. Reach up again. And twist the other way. Maybe this is getting easier. Lift all the way up. And then draw the belly forward. In fact, we're going to take the hands onto the elbows and draw the belly forward, drop the head to the knee. Make sure your knees aren't knocking out or knocking in. No knee knocking in this class, please. You might be able to feel this. I feel this more in my lower back, my lower spine, or the muscles of the spine. Inhale, lift up, lift the chest. Exhale, find space. Drop the head into it. Let's rise up again, this time taking the right hand out and extending it. If this feels too strong, bring the hand back onto the floor. Inhale and lift, exhale and twist. Creating heat, even though we're hardly doing anything. These are the best poses. And then come back, center lift up. Exhale, reach forward. Keep the chest lifted so the back still nice and straight. Draw the thighs in. And take that left hand behind. And inhale, come all the way forward. Extend through one more time. With each exhale, see if you can take it a little bit further forward. With each inhale, lift. One more breath. And as we exhale, I'm going to draw the feet together. I'm going to come this way so you can see me. Draw the feet together and lift up through the chest, through the belly to the chest plate. Elbows come into the sides of the thighs. And slowly keeping the back straight, lower the head towards the floor. Inhale, lift up through the back. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and see what's available. I've got the beautiful sun shining in the studio this morning. Little flecks of sunlight catching the floor and my skin. Just absorbing these lovely moments of light. And then take the feet out a little bit further, bring your hands in, or you can take them around and lower the body. Rounding through the back this time. Inhale, rise up. I'm going to draw the toes underneath you and then come up and bring the feet up underneath, stretch through, and then come back. Actually, bring your hands flat, that's a better way to do it. And then lift up, so we kind of half tabletop. And then come forward, walk your feet a bit further, and then come forward. Walk your feet a little bit further still, and then come up into tabletop. Toes nice and straight with the feet, lifting up, squeeze out through the belly. And then as we exhale, bring the bottom all the way down. We're going to cross over the feet and then tuck them under and come into a low squat. Nice, keeping the knees together here. Lift the spine straight. So if you're a little bit more like this, see if you can maybe take one hand. If you need to, you can take bricks either side of you. And then bring your hands to your heart when you find your balance. And again, you can take a brick underneath your heels. I've actually got some bricks here, so I could demonstrate this. So you could take a brick here if you're finding it really wobbly, or a book or something. And you can also hold on to bricks either side of you if you're feeling a little bit wobbly too. You can also hold a brick here if you feel you need something to push your hands into. Nice. From here, we're going to open up the hips. So taking the legs wide, and maybe you can hold onto the knees and use that to lift through the chest. If this is too much, don't worry, just open as much as you can, even if it's just a couple of inches. And then exhale, bring the knees together. We're going to shoot the bottom up to the sky. Take your feet a little bit wider, so they're a bit wider than hip distance. There's a slight rotation, so the toes are slightly rotating out. Draw the head down towards the knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale and lower. Lower the bottom to the earth. Inhale, rise up. Inhale, lower the bum, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Lower the bottom. Where is the bottom? Lower the bottom. Where is the bottom? Nice, bend in the knees, come down again, holding on to them. And then as we exhale, come all the way down onto the mat. Okay, so I'm going to come into, I'm going to draw this left leg underneath me, so the knee is forward, and bring this right leg on top. Now, you might find it a bit tricky to get into this. I found that if you walk forward, you might be able to see better from the side, and you took one leg underneath the other leg, and then let your toes walk forward. If we're coming into cow's head pose, or cow's head legs at least. And if you're finding that you're a little bit wobbly, you can put a brick or a block or a cushion underneath that bum cheek, so that you feel that you're much more, if you're a bit like off on the side, pop a block underneath your bum cheek. Pop a bum cheek underneath your bum cheek, preferably somebody else's. And then you can find that you're much more stable. Nice. And there's lots of variations we can take from here. This might be enough going on in the hips and these deep internal rotations that you can kind of feel, okay, this is enough. And you just maybe just want to take a chin mudra or hold onto your big toes is nice. And we just hold it here. Because I am very aware that for most people with troublesome hips, that this is hard enough on by itself. So we can just focus on the breath here, the deep breath in and the deep breath out. And so maybe you have downloaded this and you're, maybe you've been working on it and it's week 3 and you actually think, you know what, I can sit here now and it doesn't cause me any discomfort. So when that's the stage, and only when that's the stage, remember to honor your body. It's your greatest gift. You're going to slowly extend the arms out to the side. And then pull in gently, finding Uddiyana Bandha. We're just going to lower the body towards that front knee. And again, you might need your hands. You might think, oh, actually, I need to take some of the weight into my arms. That's totally fine. You might extend your fingers, just have your finger pads, and we're lowering the chin towards the knee. And maybe you can take the chin over the knee. And we can stay here for as long or as little. I'm going to try and stay here today for 5 breaths, of which I've been chattering away like a chaffinch. So I'm just going to stay here for 3 more. Just allowing each exhale to take you to a deeper place, either spiritually or physically, or both, of course. And again, if you're working on this, you can press pause and stay here for 3 or 4 minutes. That's also really nice. You're going to rise in, wind in, and then take your left hand onto that knee and gently twist it through. And I mean gently. Okay, if this is causing you no pain, maybe you'd like to take this elbow and take it over the thigh and draw the hand down and bring this hand down too. Try and find space between the navel and the sternum and then slowly lower. In the light. And then rise all the way up. I'm going to twist through, so I'm going to take both hands, the left side, twist out, come onto the toes, bend the knee. Take a little squat, bring your hands into your hips, rise up. Nice, let's come down into goddess pose. Inhale, rise up, straighten the legs. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Sorry, I'm chopping my head off. You don't need to see my hips. From here, straighten the legs. Take your hands onto your hip bones and slowly start to come forward. Put a bend in the knee if you feel that's more comfortable. It's maybe a little bit easier. And then if you want to, as you come down, start to straighten the legs. But don't lock out your joints, which means don't just which means keep some activity in the muscles. So use your thigh muscles Especially if you're hypermobile, never let your joints look out, even though you might find that really easy. It's just long-term not good for the body. Slowly draw the elbows to the earth. And again, put in a nice big bend in the knee, especially if there's either pain in your hips or your hamstrings. And let's sway it from side to side. So even if your legs are straight, pop a bend in the knee and let's just sway that. Find that nice movement. It's not really a yoga pose. It just feels really good to get your body moving, the hips moving. Let's walk the hands forward. Take a hands a little bit wider. Take a wide leg, down dog. Nice. Probably doesn't look any different from the side to a normal dog. And then as we inhale, come all the way up. Bending over to the right side. So I'm bending the right side deep. My foot is flat on the floor, but you can come up onto your toes. We're going to lift up these toes and then lift up onto the knee. So you might want your bricks again, holding onto your bricks. You might be able to hold onto into your heart center or holding onto that knee, whatever feels good for you. Into a skandasana or kind of ninja squat. And then walking the hands. We're going to twist that to the other side. So foot flat is always nice. If you need to come up onto the toes, come up onto the toes. Lifting up. Or taking your bricks. And lifting, I've lifted the toes, you can't see, but I've lifted the toes from my opposite foot too. Exhale, come all the way back. And we're going to twist through the other way. So we're going to completely twist. So this time we should have the opposite leg over. Nice. If you feel like this foot should be on sideways. If you feel like you're not quite in the pose, come forward again. Shuffle one knee into the other. Walk those toes forward. Take your hands, hold on to the big toes. Take your cushion under your bum cheek. Or someone else's bum cheek under your bum cheek. That could be interesting. Let's exhale to the down. Or just hold. In the body, just release. And then rise up. Both hands the opposite sides. Drawing the elbow over the thigh. And then thinking of the elbows coming down. My elbows aren't down. Maybe one day there will be, but that day isn't today. But yoga is not about pose, not about the end results. It's about the journey and how you get there. And give it a little bit more of a twist as the body starts to let go of the resistance it's holding on to. And as we inhale, come all the way back. Let's extend the legs out in front of us. 4. Nice, taking Parkes-McQueen, lifting up. And then as we exhale, keeping the back straight, the hands can come to the side. You can take a strap. You can take your big toes if you've got long arms and if you've got that flexibility. If not, we can stay here. Slowly shining the heart to the feet, feet flexed. Drawing the body down. If you can hold your toes, hold your toes. You might be able to take your hands and bind them underneath. Just depending on what's going on in your body. Okay, feel free to bend the knees here. And inhale and rise. We're going to take a brick and take a brick to the, I'll do it this side so you can see it's the right hand thigh. Pick up the left leg. We did this standing a moment ago, and let the foot come onto that brick and draw the knee down. This might be enough. Inhale, lift up, exhale, same pose again. Just releasing through. Enjoying the sound of your breath. Maybe finding that ujjayi breath, that little noise of the ocean. Let's come up and swap the feet, find the brick over. And then slowly keeping the belly straight and the back straight. We move on over to the other side. Just giving it in, letting go of the thigh muscles, of the hips. And again, if you can only come to here, then that's totally fine. We bring our presence to here. Each time lifting with the in-breath, exhaling and lowering with the out-breath. Makes no difference where you are. Just because we're not making the same shape doesn't mean that we're not working the body in a good manner. Nice. And then come all the way up. I'm going to come all the way down onto the bottom. And this time, if you want to, we're going to cross the right leg over the left leg and scoot the bottom over towards the right, and then drop both knees towards the left, taking your gaze towards the right hand. So it's a little extended version of where we started. If you feel this is too much, drop, take out the crossing in your leg. So you just keep the knees like stuck in together rather than crossed over each other, because it does make it much more intense this way. And then as we inhale, rise up, heel toe that left foot, lift both legs up to the sky. Lift your arms up, let the arms hover, keep the head down. Draw the feet in line with the buttocks. Nice. Bring the hands all the way forward, or actually to the side would be good. Take your other leg, cross your left leg over your right, scoot your bum over towards the left and drop both knees to the right this time. Oh, nice click in my spine. And then take in the gaze to the left hand. Just let the knees drop, shoulder blades on the floor, shoulder joints as far as you can on the floor. Thinking of drawing the upper body to the earth rather than getting those knees to the earth. And just letting go of any thoughts that come to mind. Forgiving those people who've maybe hurt you in the past. Maybe those people who've hurt you or taken from you many, many, many years ago, and here you are, still remembering them. Allow them to just be forgiven. Let their thoughts float away, never to come into your mind again. And if they do, come with love. For allowing you to have this emotion, for having you to have that experience. And now, like the school teacher at the end of the day, you can say you are dismissed. No point holding on to that thought when it's gone. There's nothing that can be done now. That £50 you lent someone's never going to come back. So let them go. And let's come back to center. Bring the knees in towards the chest, give them a shake or a wriggle or a rock. And then if you wanted to take Shavasana from here, feel free to take Shavasana. Maybe just a few grounding breaths, feeling the belly rise and fall. I remember when I used to watch YouTube videos years ago, I was always wondering why there was never a Shavasana in it. And this is the part that, if you're a real pitta, these are the bits you're like, oh, I don't need that bit, I just need the workout bit. And now as I've got older, I tend to want the gentler bit more. And the relationship to your breath. Feel yourself as your body, but not as your body. As though if you're aware of your physical self and your conscious self and your thinking self as three separate parts. And allow them just to be. Take your hands to your heart center and start to rub them together, creating some heat. And then inhale, really take them over the eyes, and inhale that heat into the eyes. And as we exhale, bring in the knees up, coming into a fetal position at the side, and then making your way up to a seated pose at the front of the mat. And thank you for your practice today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day with lovely, smiley, singy hips. Namaste. That's all you get. It's in the can today.